Hello, this is Vicki with VJ Designs. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to show you my journal that I just finished for Dear Julie Julie for the month of January, our Just Junk January journal. So here we go. It's the cover. I made kind of like a 3D thing here with this piece. This is part of this digital here, and then I printed it out a couple more times and cut out parts of it and put it on here with dimensionals and layered it up. So it has kind of a layered look to it. And this piece as well, I only did one more layer on that one. So on the spine, I just put one of these pieces over the spine and then this piece on the back, and ran a thin piece of ribbon down here to make it look finished. Okay, so then I took this crinkled bias tape, which I get from my scrap cabin shop, and I need to order some more because I'm getting down on my bias tape. So I just wrapped it around twice. I cut enough to wrap around twice and tie it. In this month we could use everything. There were just certain things that we had to make. Some of the pages we had to make certain pages, and then we had to make 5 page edges, 5 tabs, 5 tags, and 5 journal cards, and we had to do certain elements on each one of those. And I won't go through all of those. I'll just do a flip through, show you what I've done. Here I did a stencil with the negative of a butterfly that I die cut out, and I used that as a stencil. And these dots I made from a piece of junk mail that was in some packaging, and it had little bumps in it that you could just fit your finger in. So I cut one of those out, put it over my finger, put it in my ink, and made these dots with it. So this is one of our pages we had to do. It was a flip up postcard page. So I've got the elements on here, and this is one of the tags, one of my 5 tags that I made for it. We've got various papers in here from notebooks and old journals and coffee dyed papers. This is a sailboat page. The reason she calls it a sailboat is because you fold this part down to look like a sailboat, and you can flip it up and journal on here. Truth be told, you guys, this is my second time doing this. The first one I totally botched up, and I had a piece in there that I had to repair, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this over. And I'm sure none of you have ever had to do that before, but anyway, I did. So, and then down here you put a pocket, and then I just put that in there temporarily until I had put this pocket in here, and I liked it, so I just left it there. But you put a pocket down here so you can put a tag in here, and it holds this page down. But this is something I had in my stash. I didn't make it specifically for this book. I just put it in here. It's a matchbook, a scrappy notebook. This has little scraps of paper in it. You just make it like a matchbook. Put that in there. This is part of a 6-pack. She calls it a 6-pack because it folds up. There's 3 sections, and you fold it up, and so both sides are right side up. So you put one section here, and the other 2 are in the back folded. We'll get there in a minute. And so then I made my pocket here on the end. I just had this little piece laying around, so I just put it in here for a journaling card. We had to do a corner tuck spot, and I put it on this page, which we were also supposed to use map. Do a map, use map. So I just made a map page, and I put my tuck spot on here. This is cut out of a piece of wallpaper. The other reason I redid this video is because I realized I had part of my book below screen, so you couldn't see it anyway. So then I just folded this piece of digital over, tuck that up in there like that. This is an envelope, a junk mail envelope that I took and made this is one of the things we had to do. And you glue it here, the flap you glue here like this. And then there's a little pocket here to put something, and a pocket here. And the other part is on the other side. This paper right here is like the paper you get in Amazon packaging, but it came, I think, in a gift I got, and I love it. It's just, I've never seen this before, so I thought that'll make really cute pages. So I had enough to make 2 pages, and then in the other signature I just used Amazon brown paper. But so this is one of the tabs we were supposed to make. We had to make 5 of them. Make sure you're in screen. Okay, sorry. And this is a flip-flop page, she called it. I don't think I quite did this right, but and this is the other half of that envelope. And I just put some writing space on this part. This is a double envelope page, double envelope pocket page. So this is one of those coin envelopes. And then this was a pink envelope that I had in my junk mail that I just cut from both edges so it would be even. This came on it, so I just left it there, and I glued it all together, and I just made a pocket out of it. So, and this is one of my tags that I made. It just fits down in there like that. And you could put another tag up here. I didn't put one in there. We didn't have to fill all of our spaces this time. Sometimes she wants us to put, if we make a tuck spot or a pocket, we have to fill them, but we didn't have to fill all of them this time. I don't like to leave empty pockets and stuff, so I try to fill as many of them as I can. This is the other part of that 6-pack, and this was cut out of a magazine, this word, and then this is from Scrapbox. Piece of used journal, and I just made kind of a ticket out of this index card. Put that in there. I'm using several of these in this book because it's the right color. This was a edge tuck spot we had to make, and this was a journal card that I had. I think somebody sent this to me, and So I had it in my stash, so I'm just putting it in there. And I had various papers and pages in here from notebooks and old journals and stuff like that. So, and this is the other half of that flip up postcard page. And this also was a journal card that I had in my stash that I had previously made. So I just put it in here. And we needed to use a greeting card, and this is a blank greeting card that I had. And so I made it a tip in with the scrappy note, with the waterfall notebook we had to do. And so I glued down the other side of that to this page, made a pocket out of it. This is a build a belly band. So it's got a piece of a black box packaging underneath. This is this piece here is from that same piece of junk mail where I told you it had bumps and would fit on your finger. So I used a flat piece. It's got texture on it. You might not be able to tell. But yeah, it's kind of a fun piece. It's kind of a foamy, feels like real thin foam sort of. I don't know, it's very different. Then I put a label, and here's, I cut this out of Dear Julie Julie's digital. This is a tag that I had in my stash, so I put it in here. And this is where the second signature is glued to the first, right here. And this is another page edge. And on this page, I just put this paper here and did a flippy with this piece of notebook. So we'd have some more writing space here. This is a flip up double pocket, and I made it out of, I got one of those notebooks that the teachers used to use. I don't know if they use them anymore. They're planners, they're big planner books. And so I just made a page out of it, flipped up the bottom, made pockets. This picture's cut out of a magazine. Put a pocket across here. This was also in my stash. These pages here are really cool. They're from an aviation pilot logbook that I got at a thrift store. And I thought, oh, that'll make cool pages for journals. So that's what that is. And this is also paper from like a syllabus from a class or notebook somebody gave me. So I've gotten a lot of use out of that, but I covered this side with this piece of paper. There was some writing down the middle of this. And then I made this scrappy notebook with fabric flip up scrappy notebook is what we had to do. And that's the Dear Julie digital. And this is the tall, she makes these, it's like a triple tag on one sheet of paper, three tags that are this size. So you take the first two and you put them together, and it makes, you fold it so that it makes a pocket. And then when you sew it into the signature, the other third of it is on the other side. So I just made a tall tag to go, and that was one of the tags I had to make. And this is the Walmart or Amazon paper. Okay, this page always gives me a little bit of trouble. This is a hidden journaling page. I think I might have it figured out. But this piece right here, I made so that it comes out and it's hidden. And I did it on this striped paper and lined it up so that you can't really tell. Hey, I actually got it back in there. I worked at it a few times, you guys. So then I tried to line up the back so that, oh, I didn't get it in there. That's why it worked so well. Sheesh. Okay. Let's try this again. So this goes in here like this. You gotta get the back flap and the front flap over. Okay. We could do this. There we go. There it goes. Just like that. It's really hidden. Okay, and then this back part, when this is down like it's supposed to be, there it goes. I tried to line this piece back here, cut it so that it would line up with this piece back here, and then you can't tell. So here's a journaling card that I made. My coffee dyed paper. Okay, we were supposed to use a calendar somewhere, and I just took a calendar page, took it out and flipped up, so I made a double pocket page. And this is the photo that was on the calendar. Beautiful photo. And then I covered this part down here because it was part of the calendar. It was upside down, so I covered it with the Dear Julie Julie digital. Put all the stuff. And this was a tag that I had in my stash. I just put it in here and then just folded up a piece of coffee dyed ledger. Put in. This is something I had in my stash also, another matchbook, scrappy notebook. So I put it in there for extra journaling. Okay, here's another one of those page edges. This page I had all messed up. You guys, I had to take it apart and do it over. So I did it differently. But here's the journaling card. So pretty. And then on the back, I put a piece of that index card, made a pocket out of it. And this is the Dear Julie Julie digital right here, this little. So there's that. And it does close. Here's the other part of that 3-part tag page. Piece of that. These lines here I made with a piece of packaging, like the cardboard packaging, and I put ink on the edge of it, and I made these lines with it. This is a tab. The belly band I made with a piece of garment. I had gotten this blouse out of a bin at the thrift store, and it had this lace, and it was the perfect color. It had all this lace across the top and stuff, so I just cut the lace out and used it in here. This was just a little thing that I made something I had started to make a while back. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. So I just finished it, put this on it, put a scripture. I took tape, and if you haven't seen this done before, um, Big Mama, she likes to be called Big Mama, her name's Sandy Moore. She showed us how you just put like masking tape down on your book page and rub it on there, and then you lift it up and it takes the wording off, and that's so cool. And then you can use that for writing space. Then I put a piece of index card in the inside and the back, and one on the back. So put that in there, and I'm using up my stash too. I'm glad we could use our stash. Things we'd already done. This is one of them that I made. And I had this, I don't know where it came from, but it had these words, letters. So I just cut them out and did this word, beauty. And fussy cut this out of a magazine. This is a fabric pocket we were supposed to make, and I took a piece of scrapbook paper and used my decal edge scissors on it, and then I hand stitched across, because we were supposed to do some sort of stitching, and I wasn't going to drag out my sewing machine. So there's that. And this is another edge. So this is the third signature. This is where it's glued to the second signature. And I had this pocket that I had made in my stash. I just put it in here, and I put this in here for writing. Okay, we were to make a belly band with a job. So this belly band's job is to have this journaling card in here behind it. So I put a tab. I put this little charm on here, and goes behind it like that. I did some stamping. It's got scrap paper, drywall tape. I've got some gift wrap twine there, and the Dear Julie Julie digital. And this page, I put it on a back-to-back large pocket page we were supposed to do. So, and then I made this large journaling card out of packaging. And Dibs page, she calls it. This is my parchment paper I use when I do spritzing, or when I do my coffee dyed papers. And but this stuff is really hard to glue. It just doesn't want to glue, and it's coming up a little bit, so I'm gonna have to fix it. But I had to glue and glue and glue this for it, so that was probably not the best thing to use. I won't be using it again, put it that way. It's cool, and it's crinkly, but it just doesn't want to glue. And it's probably, I don't know, maybe from the oils from the coffee or something. I don't know why, but. So I put that down in there, put a little belly band back here, and all this stuff. And then this page here has a tuck spot. There's a tab. This, I believe, was from some mail that I got. I can't remember exactly, but I've been saving it, and I thought, oh, this is a perfect place to use this. And so I've got the things on there, and then a tip-in. So we had to make a tip-in page, so that's what I used for my tip-in. And this is my double pocket page, and I glued it to this one. And this pocket here I made with a book page, and I just folded it over. So you've got room to put, 2 or 3 tags. We also had to make a sideways waterfall page. So 4 pages. So this would be like the bottom page. And somewhere, and she wanted us to use embossing. So what I did here, I experimented. Okay, so this was a large circle die that I got from Mary Craft Roulette. I won a Krog from her one time, a Craft Roulette original gift with a card with an itty bitty gift is what it is. And so I saw somebody say one time where you could take your dies and emboss with them. So what I did was turned it the wrong side, so the cutting edge wasn't on there, and I ran it through, and it embossed. You probably can't see it, but it's little hearts. It's a circle with little hearts. It's pretty cute. So that's the bottom page. This is the next page. It's a waterfall, so each page gets a little bit shorter. So then I put this pocket down here and just put a tag back there. There's my last page edge, I think. And then we were to use an envelope as a centerfold on one of our signatures. So in this last signature, I used this. This was an envelope that it was white, and I had was experimenting one day with some of my inks, where you take your ink and put it on something and then wet it and then rub your whatever you're using in it. And that's what I did here. I thought it turned out really pretty. And so I used this envelope with the window in it, and so I put this piece of Dear Julie Julie Digital inside, glued it to this part, so I could leave this part open for a pocket, and then I made this journaling card to go in, and fits in there just perfectly. And this is a piece that I had in my stash that I had made for another journal, I think. Ended up taking it out or not using it because that journal was so fat. So this was a charm that I had made, and I thought it turned out pretty cute. And I forgot to show you these beads. I make for the center signature, I usually hang some sort of charms. So I made these charms I made these beads out of her digitals that I used, and then put these other beads on. So that turned out pretty cute. So that's what I had done. I used her digital to make these beads with. And there's a piece of broken jewelry and some bling. Very cute. I love it. So I just put it down in this pocket, and then it goes down in there, and then this hangs down over the top. It does make it a little bulky, but it's not too bad. Okay, we're at the end. So this is another piece I had in my stash, both of these. I had already started this. It was on a piece of the inside of an envelope that I was making a pocket out of, and I don't know why I didn't, but I'm like, oh, that'll be perfect to put in here. So I just put it in here and used this tag that I already had in my stash. The colors are perfect. Goes along with the theme, so I just put that in there. And that's the last tab. And there's the back part of that, the other side of that page. So I made a big pocket out of it also. Okay, and here's the back page, and I did use a piece of fabric on here that I had in my stash, and I just made this big tag to go in here. This isn't one of our required tags that we had to do, but so there is my journal, my finished journal for January, junk journal. So let me know what you think. Like I said, I had to do this video again because the first one was totally a debacle. So there it is. It's a chunky monkey too. I just can't seem to make them. These challenge journals always end up this way because there's so many things that we need to make, and you can't just put them in a small journal. So there you go. Let me know what you think, and thank you for stopping by. Click the like button and please leave me a comment, okay? We'll talk to you soon. Bye.